Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris, and today we're going to be adding a bunch of stories to the LEGO City. So let's get started. My goal for today is to add in a bunch of little details throughout the city to hopefully add a bit of interest to the city when people are looking at it, either through the lens or whether they're standing here in person. And so I want to add in a bunch of little details like these power miners guys looking at the movie theater, and maybe Patrick running through the green space over there, and a bunch of other details like that. Okay, recently I picked up this excavator set, and it's actually really nice. It's a really awesome build. All the features on it work great. It rolls good. It rotates. I mean, it's better with two hands, but it does rotate. I'm not going to give a full review of it just because there are people out there who do reviews better, and if you want to watch a review of that, you can definitely check that out, and it would be much better than anything I could ever do. So I'm going to save that for them, but for the purposes of this video, this thing is great. I really like it, and it came with a couple extra pieces as well. It came with two of these guard pieces and a couple of figures and some rubble. And so my goal for today is to add this along with a couple of other details into a certain spot in the city to make it look like there's construction going on, and to hopefully tell a nice story too. Okay, so this is the spot that I was actually thinking of putting the construction site, between this curve here and this curve for this switch track here, somewhere in this area. I was recently just working in this area on the hardware store here, so if you haven't checked that video out, I'm going to put that in the top right for you. But we're going to focus on this side of the street today because I think I could remodel this area and make it look pretty good. And I'm going to do that by pretty much removing all of this Mills plating here essentially that I've created a while ago. I put it in as a placeholder to just kind of frame up the roads on either side, but I'm not super happy with it, so I'm probably gonna, I might keep this stuff up here, but this stuff down here is definitely gonna go. And I might just keep this as it is, since I will eventually, if I take it out, I'm gonna have to put it back in. So I might as well just leave that as it is, but I'm gonna take this out, and I'm going to try and fit the excavator in here and see if I have a dump truck or two, and see how that goes. All right, so the excavator is probably in the position that it's going to be in. And this is the little dump truck I was talking about. It is obviously very undersized, but it was a really cheap set back, I don't know, maybe 10, 12 years ago. And I think it's cute, and I kind of like it. So it's probably going to sit about here-ish, maybe. And then I'm going to add in a bunch of details as well, like tan plates, dark tan, browns, some grays, and hopefully I can make this look a lot more interesting, because as it stands right now, this looks pretty bad. It looks pretty boring, and so let me take a crack at it and see what I can come up with. Okay, so this is kind of the vibe that I was going for, and I think this actually looks pretty good, but basically what it is just a stack of 1x1 plates in tan. I have a whole bunch of these from the Pick-a-Brick wall, and so I'm kind of just sporadically putting them around here, and I'm just creating stacks of them to kind of make it look like there's a construction zone. And then eventually I'm going to put caution bars up. I don't know what they're exactly called, but I think you know what I mean. I'm going to put those up here so cars know to not drive this way. And yeah, I think this actually doesn't look that bad. So let me keep going at this, and I'll let you know how it goes. Okay, so this is starting to shape up quite a bit actually, and I think it's looking pretty good. My goal for this is to have it be kind of at a similar height to this road plate. It doesn't have to be exact, but I want to be able to put this dump truck here so that it can at least kind of sit there, because before it was sitting like that, and that's a pretty big difference. And so I think being able to put it kind of not totally flat, but kind of flat, I think would look a lot better. And so I'm pretty happy with that. And yeah, let me continue doing this. And it is kind of annoying actually to stack all these 1x1s together, but I don't mind it. It is going to be a pain in the butt when I eventually take all these out, but for now, I think it looks pretty good, and I'm kind of happy with it, actually. It's turning out better than I expected it to. And so let me keep playing around with this. It's mostly just trial and error, so let me keep playing around with this, and I'll show you guys once this little section is done and how the dump truck looks on top of it. Okay, so I think this actually looks pretty good. It's mostly done. I did add in a dark tan plate. I don't know if I showed that in the last clip, but I would like to add a couple more. I would just have to find a couple more dark tan plates. And so, but putting this on though, I think it looks pretty good. You're not really going to see the dark tan anyways, so I probably won't even add it. Maybe over here, but I guess we'll see. I do quite like how this looks. Actually, it does look it looks good. I think it looks like it's actually supposed to be there and it's not just a random pile of plates. So I'm pretty happy with this. I think it looks pretty good. And so now I kind of want to add some more of that sand texture around the excavator as well. And I did add in some plates into the bucket here. So maybe I'll add in a couple more plates underneath it and also some plates around the excavator. And maybe I'll put it at an angle. I'm not totally sure, but let me mess around with this. I have a lot of these, so it shouldn't be a problem. So let me mess around with this and see what I come up with. Okay, so I went ahead and added in a bunch of 1x1 plates in the bucket of the excavator as well as underneath and around the excavator. And I think this looks pretty good. I also added a couple around this one road plate here. I'm pretty much going to just leave it as this, I think. I could keep adding. I have all these still. And, you know, I could just keep going and adding plates and plates and plates and just kind of just throw them at this. But I think I'm going to leave it as it is for now because eventually this is all going to have to get ripped up when I put this road in and when I figure out what exactly is going to go here. But let me just add in the final details and we can move on from this. Okay, so I went ahead and I added in the pair of these barricades that came with the excavator set. And I also added in this really old sign, construction sign that I got from Bricks and Minifigs. I thought it was pretty neat, and I didn't have a use for it when I bought it, but I thought it was cool, and so figured I would throw that here for the time being with this little construction site. And the only other change that I made was to add these couple of figures that also came with the excavator. I have a couple other construction figures, but I might throw them in here as time goes on. But for now, I'm going to just leave it as it is, and we're going to move on to the next story. Okay, here's another place where I think could be a really interesting and kind of cool story for anyone that's just passing by. Basically, I took the top floors of the police station off, and I put in this figure in the jail cell here. It's pretty tight in there, but this guy is in prison, and his friend outside is trying to figure out how to break him out. And so it's pretty, this piece was not supposed to come off, but it's a pretty simple story. It's pretty classic, but I do think it looks pretty cool. And once you put the figure in, you can see him through the window, which is pretty cool. So you can see him in there, and you can also see the cop in there as well, not paying attention to anything. And yeah, and this guy's outside. He's trying to figure out what to do, and all he has is this little bar here. But yeah, this was a pretty simple one, nothing too crazy, but I had this figure and this one, and I was like, hey, you know what? Let me throw them over here, make it look pretty interesting, and then once I finish this terrain over here as well, I think this could look really cool. And even with the top floors on, you can still see the guy in there. It is kind of dark, but that's to be expected, obviously, but you can still see him, so it's not a big problem. You just have to know that he's there in order to look for him, but I think that's a really cool Easter egg that people might not normally notice. Another Easter egg and story that I want to add to the city is actually in the farm area here. I have a couple of printed mushroom tiles, and I also have a couple of other printed tiles as well, like ladybugs, bees, and stuff like that. And I feel like I could add one or both of these figures, probably just the one on the left, but maybe both of them. This one does say zoo on the torso, so I don't know if that would make a whole lot of sense, but definitely this one on the left here. I'm thinking of putting the figure in this kind of wildlife area here just to make them look like she's doing some exploring and kind of just documenting nature, which I think would be pretty cool. So let me try to work that out, find the other printed tiles as well, and see how that looks. Alright, so I added in a couple of the details, and I added in some ladybugs and also the mushrooms. I had one already over here, and also a little baby one, so I figured I would just throw the red one next to that. And then the brown one I put over here, and I put the couple of ladybugs on either side. And I put I don't know, this was a collectible minifigure, but I don't remember what series it was from or what the name was of the figure. Maybe like Jungle Explorer or like Nature Explorer or something like that. So I put her with a magnifying glass, checking out the ladybug. And for those of you that don't know, actually, these magnifying glasses actually work, which is pretty cool. You guys can see that through there. So that's a neat little fun fact for you. So that's that. And I want to add one more kind of pop culture reference / Easter egg into the city. So let me go do that really quick, and then we'll wrap up the video. And that reference is actually from LEGO Dimensions, which is Gandalf on top of Marty McFly's hoverboard from Back to the Future. This is an actual mold of the hoverboard itself from Back to the Future 2. And it's pretty cool. This was a Dimensions exclusive, I think. But it is pretty cool. I really like it, actually. It's such a shame that they only made it for Dimensions and in that one pack. But I thought this was pretty cool. It was pretty funny. And so if you guys have played LEGO Dimensions, then you know where that's from. But on that note, that is going to wrap up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked what I did and you liked all the stories that I told, make sure to like the video and subscribe, as well as click the bell notification so you don't miss any future uploads. If you guys have any feedback for me, or if there's any stories that you want me to tell in the city, make sure to drop a comment with your suggestions down below. And once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.